Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Broken Sand Dollars, number 19 in audio, lucky number 13 in video. That's pretty awesome. Shout out to all the listeners, new and old. Thank you for hanging in there with us. And remember to subscribe, like, follow, worship, give all your devotion, whatever it takes to help us out.
Donations accepted.
Absolutely, why not? Oh my gosh, that might get us in trouble, but hey, trouble's my fourth middle name. Remember to send everything to brokensanddollars22@gmail.com.
What are the first three middle names?
Well, I can't give my real one because I just don't want it. There's a few special people out there on the planet that know it.
Yeah.
And if they tell, well, then they're not my special people anymore. That's what you do last week.
Mostly worked. Oh, I did some stargazing. That was nice.
Nice.
Checked out some planets, which is always cool.
Sweet.
Learned I have pretty much completely forgotten anything I knew about constellations.
How far in
Except for the
did
Big
you
Dipper.
get to go to clearly see the
No,
stars?
we had a couple clear days here.
I did not pay attention.
Saw Mars and Jupiter.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was it around the time, I read headlines when stuff with all planets were?
No, after that. At least I'm pretty
But
sure.
those ones were left behind to
I think we
visually
can. I
see with
think
your
we
own
can
eye.
see those ones a lot of the time.
Mhm.
I don't think it's unusual to be able to see those on a clear night. Maybe at certain times a year, but they were clearly visible.
Nice.
Use one of those little star app things to.
Oh,
It's just also how I was able to. No, I don't know as much as I thought I knew about constellations.
so it was it one of those
Well, I
ones
didn't
where
think I
you
knew anything.
where you hold your phone up and it shows you the stars or
Yes.
awesome.
Mhm.
Right on. Is Google Earth good enough to do that now, or?
I have no idea. I'm not sure.
My brain just goes to they probably have the best technology.
I guess I mean, it's Google Earth, not Google Stars.
It makes my brain go to every now and then I check out.
We use
The-
Skyview.
What?
Skyview, I think is what the app was called.
Set a satellite out there.
I think they just use GPS coordinates or something.
There's one guy online who has a telescope pointed right at Betelgeuse in case it does its explode.
Oh, that'll be cool to see.
Yep, I checked it earlier today and it's still doing the same stuff.
It's still there.
It's still there, but at least it's locked on, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. It must be set to just track it.
It amazes me how we get to see stuff trillions light years away.
hmm
I'm blown away by that.
Sometimes it blows me away, and sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense because we're all energy.
Well, then how close can we get to, 4K, 8K stuff on Mars? We should be able to look pretty close.
Right, even if we could look super close, I don't know if they necessarily show us.
I still want to see someone waving back. Hey, it's us. We're here.
Yeah.
We've been waiting
You're not
this
going to
whole
see that
time.
on Mars.
Well, no, that planet's already been fried.
So we think.
Well, okay, that's where, dudes eat wool.
Actually, I had quite a few interesting conversations about mushrooms last week, too, which
Oh, right on.
was good because a lot of it was fresh in my mind.
Nice. What,
Just
stuff about here, where to go, possibly?
where to go and what types were around, and shock that you can just go pick them randomly.
Nice.
And that we also have like the most potent ones.
The good information would be where to go to find them. So I got no clue.
Nobody gives out that information.
See,
If you know where to find them, you keep that to yourself.
Oh, wow. I was about to say, you got to share it, be good on the
No,
planet.
Absolutely
But
not.
no, those two contradict each other.
Once everybody knows, then they like take over. The patch will be gone. You have dumbasses out there ruining everything and keeping things from kind of spawning.
Very true. Okay. I can understand it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just, nope.
I'd have to do like Wakanda and just catch it all on fire after I get my own. Nobody else gets any.
I don't know what you mean.
The original Black Panther movie, when the new king burnt all the special flowers so no one else could be Black Panther powerful.
That's rude.
I'm hoping this isn't a spoiler alert to people watching. You didn't see Black Panther the first one?
Did I?
I thought you had to have, because I've watched it here quite a few times.
Okay.
I got it on my Voodoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I watched it here.
The new one, I haven't seen that one yet, but that one looks pretty good.
That one's still in theaters, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
What about your week?
My week, I didn't do too much. Got to play some Magic. Actually, most of the weekend, yeah, I played Magic. Yeah, for Saturday, Sunday, I played a lot of Magic. That was fun. I learned that I need to go through some of my decks because
You're a cheater.
I wasn't intentionally cheating. So it's not my fault.
Right. That's fine. That's
Doesn't
true.
it work that way?
But now it like voids any wins you had with that deck.
I'd say maybe put an asterisk next to them, not just void them altogether.
No, it has to be voided because you used cards that were illegal.
Yeah, okay.
What's it
I got no.
Is it a forfeit? Disqualification. You're disqualified.
Well, no.
Place.
Now that I know better, I'm gonna fix that and make it good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that we got the rest of the Magic cards in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, It takes a little time to go through all those because now there's multiple series that we can work out of instead of just the one.
It's true. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. The Kamigawa has some pretty cool, like, modern ninja cards.
I feel like I like that deck more than the other deck. Although I actually like the Dungeons and Dragons deck.
That one is fun. The extra little things you get to do with the dungeons and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anybody out there who knows Dungeons and Dragons, maybe this will help you get into Magic that way.
How did you do playing? Like, how was the overall play?
I'm pretty sure I won every match.
I should have never asked. I should have known that would be your response. Did anybody else think that they won?
Yeah, there was a couple of times they thought they won. But it was just by default.
Mm-hmm. Because they were using your shitty deck that has cheating cards?
No, they both brought their own this time. They were prepared. One had a little Rubbermaid container full of cards, and the other one has a backpack full of them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Prepared.
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to have to rob them and get them all. Because the one with the backpack, he has a couple of decks that were actually pissing me off, so. Yeah. Well, there were cards in there that I don't have.
That must have been one of the times that they didn't win.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is about that deck, but I hate it. It's like when you have your ally deck. I hate that thing. One, it's stacked illegally also.
I thought the rule was as long as you could shuffle it, it's legal.
That's like a house play rule. I
Yeah,
don't think you're going to find that rule in any tournament.
Oh.
And house rules don't count.
I'd have to knock it down by like 30 cards.
Yeah.
Oof. That'd be tough. But devastating nonetheless, because now I'm getting to those other ones quicker.
True.
I'm messing people because
just figure out which ones you really want to build the deck around.
It's a devastator when used properly. Well, used properly.
Maybe I should try it then.
No. No, it'll be cursed then. No. Yeah.
What else happened this week?
Seahawks. Woohoo!
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. They did their part, won their game, which was an awesome game. Awesome. Good catch, good throwing, good running. It was good. Good kicking. Yep, that was nice. And then we got lucky with Detroit not lying down and saying, okay, well, shit, now that we got no chance, screw it. Nope, they came to play. They took it to Green Bay, kicked their ass, made Rodgers look like a dork, which was awesome.
Do you ever think that because they had no chance, it was just easier for them to play well? Like all the
Possibly.
stress of it is gone, right? It changes the whole feeling of it.
Yeah, this game is just for
It's
the
just
fun of the game.
for fun. Just for fun.
Yep.
Let's see if we can crush this other team's dreams because our dreams are crushed.
Nice. We're both leaving here with crushed dreams today. That really, at the beginning, started out really nice.
I know.
And
I actually intended for it to go a nice way, and then whoops, here we are.
But no, I still like that theory though. Yeah, nothing to lose. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
For the love of the game.
Yep. I was just really, really happy to see them beat Green Bay. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love to see Green Bay?
Nobody at the beginning of the season except me, because I'm such a diehard fan.
Nobody at all.
Nobody knew they were going to be
Just
playoffs,
Darian.
but me.
The psychic abilities.
If you think you knew better, comment below. I still wait for the phone call.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which phone call is that?
Whatever one they need for me to help with.
Okay.
It's going to happen one of these days. It's one of those things where if you put it out in the universe, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So
like manifesting through energetic thought process.
Yes, which would lead us right into last week's end topic.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so in our studies this week, it was, what's that saying Nicholas Tesla did? It was like on everything. If you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy,
vibration,
frequency, and vibration.
Yes. Yep. So, and from what we've been learning and we watched today, yeah, heal stuff in the bodies, move things on the planet.
Well, you can break it down at a cellular and then an atomic level through a microscope. Everything within us, every single thing is just vibration creating light movement.
The things that gotta happen and go together properly for us to exist.
So people say we live in the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Is because it's all a hologram, an energetic hologram.
If they say everything's energy around us, and we're nothing but energy, and we all got our frequencies. And what they were showing with that one experiment where they were taking the frog tadpole little guys and putting them through some frequency and turning them into salamanders.
Weird.
That was a trip. Or the one with the rabbit, which...
That was sad.
It was sad, but they took a mom rabbit away from his buddies a couple thousand miles away and killed one of the baby bunnies. And while that was happening, Mama Bunny was attached to brain stuff, and supposedly it said it freaked out at the exact same time.
That makes sense to me because I read some books on generational trauma, specifically a few on kind of like Native American culture or any kind of native culture that's been disseminated, and how you can heal trauma forwards and backwards by fixing basically your relationship with that trauma inside you, changing the energetic field around it, and it heals people connected to that field even if you're not near them. And I told you I had that experience with my mom where I just kind of resigned to certain things and decided no matter what, no matter how hard we fight, I'm just going to love her. And I'm not going to be negative or anything. And we haven't fought since, which if anybody knows, that's amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. maybe not as harsh, but I got an older brother I'm trying that with. Yeah. Hopefully it works.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see some of those things in play.
Well, it makes me think too, of like if you're thinking about someone, then all of a sudden your phone rings and it's that someone and they're like, hey, just called to say I was thinking about you. How many times has that happened in people's lives?
That happened to
A
me
lot.
yesterday. So I
Nice.
was working yesterday and I pull out a beer, right? And I give it to someone. And all of a sudden in my brain, I go, hey, I wonder where so and so is. I haven't seen him in forever. And I tell myself, I'm going to have to ask this person about them when I see them because I'm very curious how he's been doing. And maybe an hour later, he walked through the door. I was like, well, that's weird.
Wow.
I was literally thinking about you
Nice.
today. And he's just like, well, that's weird. Okay, I know, but that's how I roll.
See, the thought was put out there, and that kind of makes me always fall back on collective consciousness.
So is it you putting it out there and them reaching out to you? Or is it, so some people are like, oh, it's like this psychic premonition. Whereas I don't necessarily think it's that. I think it's maybe you put it out into the universe and the universe delivers. Like,
There's
here.
so many different frequencies we learned from how you can do with thought and other ways.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when you're thinking about that person, all of a sudden a frequency goes out there and, like blood to a shark miles away or however long. The person feels the frequency, and even though they might not know what's happening, all of a sudden what's going on in their life is going to lead that path to your path, and then there's a connection there.
It is, I mean, I think it's true in a lot of ways. I think we also, people say that, I thought about this, but you don't know what else they think about. You don't know the intention behind what they were thinking about either.
No.
And intention changes the frequency, or so they say.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of like the rice experiment? I should have looked up how it's done because I think it's cooked rice. You basically put these jars of rice in a dark cabinet or whatever, and every day you go and you can either tape a negative message on the outside of the jar, or you can go say, and I think it's more effective for you to understand how words affect you if you say it. So you can basically say terrible things to this one rice jar, right? Just all your negative stuff, all the bad stuff, all the things you hate. You can tell I hate rice. Rice is disgusting. I don't know what you say to it. I should do this with the kids. I don't know if I would say fun is the right word, but educational. And then the other one, it's more positive. You associate positive thoughts and positive ideas and positive quotes and happy words and tell it you love it or whatever, just things that inspire happiness or joy. And that at the end of whatever the time period is, let's say 30 days, that the jar that you talked negatively to will be like gross, and it'll break down the rice and the molecules in a way that makes them like nasty and gunky and sludgy. Mm-hmm. But the other one will be fine.
Okay, my brain instantly goes to Ghostbusters 2 when they're yelling at the toaster on the pool table that has the cosmic goo inside it. When they're yelling at it, it's angry. But when
does it get bigger?
No, just when it's happy, it danced around. But
well, I mean that's true too, right?
Yeah.
Sound changes
everything in my memory is through a movie.
Well, and then I think we discovered that when we're talking about sound and frequency, we're kind of talking about two different things.
Yes, and before I switched to the things I looked at on Amazon, one of the things we were watching on YouTube that I thought was really interesting is when they had that flat plate over the speaker, and
you could put like sand or rice, or salt, whatever.
The different frequencies would make different geometric shapes.
Universal patterns.
That was cool.
The patterns we are all constructed of. That's like cellular level DNA.
I'd like to try
microscopic pattern builds.
That would be cool.
There used to
Well,
be a guy that came out here. I don't think I've seen him since the whole whatever thing of 2020 to 2022.
yeah.
Oh,
I think we can
it
talk
was,
about all that stuff now.
it was okay.
Yeah, we're smart enough.
During
to
the whole COVID crap.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since. Was Justin the Circler. If anybody wants to look it up, I know he has like web pages or Facebook, or at least, where it kind of shows sacred geometry. That's what it is. The geometry, the math of the universe. And he used to do these patterns and had his own tool and do these massive patterns on the beach or with chalk.
Very cool.
It was pretty cool.
See, now if anybody would go out there with a drone and catch that.
I'm sure they do. I bet if you go to his stuff, he probably has those things.
I'm going to look it up on YouTube after we're done. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him, but I've seen one where people do it in snow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So is it interesting to you that there have been multiple studies on using sound or frequency on like tumors to heal?
Yes.
But yet we don't really hear much about that.
I wonder about it with myself because I never severed my spinal cord, but I squished it down to like a thinner than a piece of hair, and there's a blood clot in it blocking all the nerves. But back in the day, in 1989, they didn't have the technology to fix it.
What if sound therapy could fix something like that?
Yeah.
So they did the one cancer study. There were 16
So strange.
patients, right? Do you remember? There were 16 cancer patients that they gathered to test these theories because they had shown, I think, in mice that they could create and reverse tumors.
Yeah.
And out of the 16 of them, 30 days later, 14 of them were declared clinically healed.
Yep.
And the other 2 took 20 more days.
Yeah. And they did fix them. It just took a little longer. But
all of them.
Yeah, that's amazing. That just makes me think, okay, why isn't this implemented in more places?
That's true, because we've been using sound for so many other
money?
things. Sonar for underwater discovery, ultrasounds.
Oh, if we need to look for bombs underwater with our ships,
right?
Let's throw $50 billion into that.
We can see a baby through your uterine wall and your stomach and your tissue using sound.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's from what we watched today. I don't remember. Maybe if we look it up, maybe I'll put a link to what we watched.
Oh yeah.
But they were pretty cool. It's just when I went and looked up the first thing of healing frequencies through Google, over millions of responses came back as, oh, check this out, check that out. So yeah, I
overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed. But
I use sound frequencies to fall asleep sometimes. When I'm at home, it helps because I don't sleep well.
Well, and one of the things we were watching was talking about, when you're sleeping and stuff, they were saying a 40 hertz or megahertz or something. So I looked it up through Amazon sound therapy boxes, and I found that those are not the right ones. You have to look up frequency therapy boxes so you can set it at different frequencies and different lengths while you're sleeping. And that was pretty cool.
40 hertz. I can't remember I don't remember. I'm not very good with like sound terminology.
There was a lot.
But it was saying that it's the lower ones that get you into like theta state. And there are sounds you can listen to that will put you there. And then they have like gamma and
like it was super gamma or something like that.
Hyper gamma.
Hyper gamma, that's what it was, yeah.
And those are sounds that they didn't even think really, or frequencies they didn't really think existed to get you to that state, the state of, what is it? It's kind of like being in a state of flow.
Yeah, it wasn't a REM sleep. It was something, I think, deeper than that.
Like it's kind of the same state a monk would be in during super meditation.
Yep, they talked about
And then
that.
there were certain instruments that could actually create that.
I think it was like 13 or 16 drums and 6 to 8 of their special horns. But the drums were
Or
sideways.
didgeridoo.
Sideways. Oh, yeah, the one gal was doing it with didgeridoo. And the, was it Indian sound bowl?
Oh, Tibetan sound bowls.
Yeah, yeah.
And they might have Indian sound bowls too, but the Tibetan sound bowls I think are the metal ones, and then the other ones are glass. And then I can't remember what else there was with that. But it's kind of, I don't know. It's interesting and it makes sense because I mean, how many times have you listened to something and it struck a chord in you where you could feel it through your body
That
or
one
like your brain?
talks with the rhythm.
Yeah.
Your frequency catches the frequency you like.
Mm-hmm. Like mass hysteria is the same thing. It's a frequency that's pushed out and
Yep.
creates chaos or
Yep.
chaos in frequency, basically making everyone do things, not making them,
A
but
group of 10,000
allowing
people
for people
can
to
be
do
fine.
things that they would never normally do.
Yep. Once that 100 people in that 10,000 people group start going nuts, spreads out. The next thing you know, you got a riot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Frequencies. It's way more interesting than I thought it was going to be looking stuff up.
It was very interesting.
Because there's
Moving things, lifting
that's
things
what I
with
was just
sound.
about to say. Yeah, all the Egyptian stuff and going back and possibly how they knew to use frequencies and move those giant.
What about that guy that was friends with the monk and he went to the village and he had recordings, like old video recordings of them moving these stones from a vibration, using a vibrational bowl they created, moving giant stones and basically sending them up into this mid-cliff cave and creating a platform.
That was the one with the drums and horns.
Yes.
Yeah. His diagrams, his notes, yeah, they took the video from, yeah. But it sounded pretty convincing and
it did. And then you think about, okay, maybe that's how the pyramids were built. Maybe that's how Stonehenge was created. Maybe all these super precise cuts that they can't explain, that are so smooth, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe those were cut with sound vibration.
Well, that's funny too. We don't give them the knowledge respect we should because we got giant cranes that have a hell of a time moving those blocks. And somehow they got it done.
And how certain people, like say, maybe watch movies about sirens or whatever. Maybe it's people who have learned to control their physical energy and their sound energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For example, maybe like when an opera singer can hit that note,
and it brings people to emotional
breakdowns.
breakdowns.
Yep, break a glass. I've had just instrumental musics brings tear to my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Song, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very interesting.
We should do more. We should do some tests this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like listen to some different frequencies and then see how we feel after them.
That's why I was thinking about getting one of those boxes.
Maybe we should do some earthing. Well, maybe not you. You could touch a tree or something.
Oh, yeah.
I should do some more walking around on my bare feet. Although I do walk on the ground with my bare feet fairly often.
Maybe I just needed to have someone drag my feet through the sand.
Just go through your whole body. Throw your whole naked body in the sand.
There we go. I'll roll back and forth in the surf. What the shit? I'm not bashful.
Maybe. Oh, I should. That's my next business here. Not naked in the sand.
I was about to say, holy shit, this is gonna be rough on me.
Grounding beach walks.
What do you mean by that?
Grounding, earthing, grounding.
Have to have your shoes and socks off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then setting the intent or mood for the walk with positive thought vibration and
maybe everybody within the walk is wearing pods in one ear, hearing nature in the other, while sweet serenades are going on in the other ear.
It's very confusing grounding. I think just, I don't know. I'd have to put some more thought into this. This is the preliminary stages of this business idea.
I think once you get to the spot and start moving, if everybody just stays completely silent, but you still stay together, so there's still that body energy, people energy, mixed with just the nature energy.
I had my hands like this the other day, and somebody's like, "What are you doing? You're praying?" I'm like, "No," and I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I was like, "Well, I pray with my hands out, like this, like in a receiving position." Praise like that. Some people, I guess, but that doesn't make sense to me. It never did.
Yeah, I'm totally blank. That's a receiving one.
Well, I feel like this is like open.
Like waiting for a hug from Jesus.
And this is more like almost like compliance or submission, right? This is an open encouragement for help and support, and this feels more like a submission, I guess. I don't know. That's just the way I've always felt about it.
One way gets you a cracker, the other way gets you a hug.
Right. I guess they can't even see me for the people that are listening, but open and regular prayer stance with your hands.
And the people just listening need to tune into our Broken Sand Dollars YouTube channel so you can see what's going on.
See what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, apparently we can't even cover all the things that we had about sound.
No, because there was actually...
We could still just keep going.
No, there was a lot.
Which is why I think we should do experiments.
If we do, I want to do the speaker and the flat board.
It's going to be like a multi-session subject.
I think I got a couple old speakers out in the garage I don't use anymore.
We're going to have to try it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I will... come back to, well, I guess we can come back to it in a few weeks. Let me figure out how long that rice experiment is supposed to take.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's something we can start now and then come back, after it's done. That's going to be, we'll definitely have to video ourselves yelling at a jar of rice.
I'm not a great yeller. I mean, you have to make me pretty angry first. And
how are you going to get worked up about yelling at rice then? That's...
I'm not going to yell at it. I'm just going to say negative things to it.
This rice kicked your dog.
I don't think the volume has anything to do with that. No, because you can yell happy things.
Well, yeah, true.
I just plan on speaking to it. I didn't really plan on yelling. But you can yell.
I'll yell at it.
Okay.
I'll get nasty with it.
We have to be actually nasty because it's all about intent. You can't be like jokingly nasty.
No, there will not be a smile on my face. I will not laugh afterwards. I may slap it. Yeah, shit. We don't even need to get to the topic generator, I think.
Yeah, I think we're probably good for this week.
Yeah.
It's a to be continued.
I guess
the point of the whole thing is sound frequency is a giant subject that kind of runs the entire universe.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was looking it up online, there were millions upon millions of sites to go to and look up about all of it.
So our assignment is sound experiments, right? And probably actually learning the names of some of these programs and studies and sites for people.
It'd probably be good that way because then we could actually give links to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we could even raffle off some sort of sound therapy box.
Ooh.
Or just give you a link to a free sound therapy sleep meditation. Let us think about that.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that one. But next week, I would like to talk about something.
Sound therapy.
Is everybody ready? Here we go.
You can definitely feel it.
No, I wish people could feel what we're feeling when that goes off.
I'll have to bring my Tibetan singing bowl.
I would love that. That'd be badass. That'd be awesome. You know how to get it going pretty good?
I'm not as efficient at it as people who do it all the time, but yes, I can get it going pretty good.
Nice.
It gets loud. I was surprised because the first few times I did it, it was kind of, it was like, oh, I made a noise, and then I got it loud a few times. I'm like, holy crap!
Nice. Well, some of the things we were watching today, they were using multiple crystal ones, the Indian ones for the healing sound vibrations, while people were getting like the Reiki rock treatment, those kind of
Tuning
things.
forks.
Yep. Oh, that was really impressive what they were doing with the tuning forks.
We should do that. Maybe we'll do that experiment.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, we could keep going on about that. So
But we won't.
No, so next week I would like to talk about Chat GPT AI. It's a site people can sign up to and download, and it's some pretty cool AI stuff that I think is next generation, and it's really gonna zoom things forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
And
You should check it out too.
one other thing, I want people to answer this. Do you think the governments around the world would tell us if an extinction level event was coming up? Comment below. On those fantastic words, talk to everybody later.
Bye.
Bye.